Good morning, Ark of Cherubs. Yes, good morning, everyone. So good to see everyone again. In my imagination, I'm visualing you again. Good. Guppies 1, Guppies 2, Pollywogs, and Tadpoles. I see each of you, and I also see all of the staff, and I welcome you to Ark of Cherubs 2020 virtual summer program. Goodness gracious, it's just crazy to even think that. Well, anyway, someone told me to start looking at the camera that my eyes are going googly, so I'm going to try to do that, but I probably will divert and go back to looking at myself again to make sure that I'm looking right. But anyway, I just wanted to welcome you all this morning and hope that yesterday was a beautiful day. Today is a new day that God has given each one of us, and we have to be able to get up this morning, rejoice, and be glad that we're in the new day. And even though it's challenging and it's very different than what we are used to, we still have to give thanks. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, my children. I'm so glad to have heard from many of you who have looked forward to our program going on Zoom starting July 10th. And that should be exciting for us because we're going to do 5 Fridays from 9 to 12. And anyway, you all got the emails, and so for your each group, and that we will all gather as one big group at 9 a.m. on starting Friday, July 12th. So we look forward to you all. Please respond to the email so that we know the count that we're going to have so that each teacher can be prepared to address her group. So that's one news update. Let's see, what else do we have on our agenda today? Well, we know that today is Wednesday, and for some of us, it's midweek Bible class. So remember, children, study your Bible. How many of you still have your 365 days bedtime Bible story that Ark of Cherubs gave you a few years ago? I'm doing it again, looking over the camera. How many? Okay, let me see here. Counting. Oh, I see a few hands out there. Yes, I do. I can imagine some shooting up. I do. Still have it. Well, remember, 365 days it takes for your birthday to come again. Okay? So if you start today, today is the second half of 2020. Can you believe that? 6 months have already gone. So January, February, March, April, May, June. 6 months gone. Now we have July, August, September, October, November, December. 6 more months of the year. So tonight, maybe start, ask mom if you're not the strong reader, that this will be a great time of family time. 365 days of bedtime Bible stories. And it has a couple of questions that you can ask at the end. So it's really a nice time to be together again, but to be together sharing God's word. So that's for many of us tonight. Remember Bible class, however you can do that, virtually, online, calling in, whatever your family is doing at this time. But we want to begin next with word of the day. Aha. The word is candid. Can you say candid? Because it's a funny word. Look, you can see the word can in it, and then you see did. Candid. Tadpoles, you know what candid means? I don't hear anybody yet. Well, anyway, it means saying what one really thinks. That's what candid means. It's just saying what you really think. It's what we call honest. You're being honest. You're telling the truth. You're being straightforward. You're not sort of dancing around the story. You're being candid. And you're being straightforward. And you're really saying what you think. So if someone's doing something or saying something that you really think is inappropriate, not nice, not kind, not doing anyone any help, then you can be candid and let them know it's not okay. So today, children, try to be as candid as possible. I don't mean to be rude, I mean to be candid. Be honest. If somebody says to you, do you like my picture that I drew? And you really don't like it, say, oh, no, but it's a nice picture. I just don't like trucks, or I don't like hearts, or I don't like whatever it is that you don't like. It's okay to be candid, but not mean and rude and say, oh, that picture's ugly. And then if somebody is candid with you, children, don't be sad. That's just being honest about what they like and what they don't like, because you too can be candid. And so, yes, we have touched that word today. I hope that yesterday you remember what yesterday's word was. And if you notice that there is a pattern, does anybody know what that pattern is? Yes, we're going in alphabetical order. A, B, C. Monday was, what was Monday? Yes, ample was Monday. Having plenty of something. What was Tuesday? Blatant. Easy to see, very plain or clear. And then we have today's word, candid. So as you can see, A, B, C. So think about those words. Remember, children, at the end of the week, I will send them to you, your family, so that you will get to have a list with the meanings so that you can continue to increase your vocabulary, be able to have conversations where you're using words that just show that you're learning vocabulary. You're studying. You're doing things to stretch your mind. So that when you see these words, or someone's in a conversation with you and they're using those words, you will know what those words mean. And remember, if you are ever in a conversation with someone, or you are reading a book or a magazine or whatever it is that you're looking, and there's a word, or even if you're driving down the street and there's a sign that has a word that you don't know, ask. Don't pretend like you know. Don't try to guess. Don't try to figure it out by the sentence. That type of learning is not good. Get your dictionary, and I know everyone has a dictionary. Some have hard dictionaries like a book. Some of you have it on your iPhones or your iPads, dictionary.com, webstercam.com. Maybe I don't know if that's true, but you can get and look up words on your device. So please, always ask. And it's better to ask because you know why? Then you're really being smart. When you don't ask and then you think you know the word, and then the next time it's used and you use it in the wrong way, and someone will look at you and go, why did they say that? That doesn't even mean that. Well, now you'll be able to use the word with its right meaning. So please, always ask, children. No question is a dumb question. And most of the time in a classroom, if one person asked that question, believe me, there are others in there that wanted to ask the question, but they were afraid to ask the question, so they didn't get the answer until you were strong and had courage to go and raise your hand and say, excuse me, teacher, what does the word candid mean? You just used that and I don't know what it means. And she will say, it means being straightforward, saying what you really think, being honest. And you'll go, oh, that works. And everybody else's light bulb will go, and their eyes will brighten because now they know what the word means. So, continue to do that, children. Friday, I said we are going to do a baking project. On Monday, I gave the list of ingredients. And does anybody remember what I said we were going to bake? Challah bread. Yes, we're going to bake challah bread. And challah bread is braided and twisted bread. And as I said, it's going to be honey challah bread. And we need wheat flour, so we need honey, we need cinnamon, we need vanilla, we need eggs. And if you want to make a little topping of sprinkling sugar, you do that. But that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to really do this with you watching me. So I have one more day, well, I have today and tomorrow to really think about how this can work. So anyway, please get your ingredients so that you can be ready to make challah on Friday. So with that, children, let's move right into what we have been studying. What was this week's? Somebody tell me. What was this week's theme? Yes, you're absolutely right. How to treat others. What does God say about how we treat others? And we learned that sticks, stones do hurt, and words too. Okay? We learned that. We know that. So don't use that saying. That was a really silly saying, but sticks and stones will break our bones, and words can really hurt me. Okay? Remember that. Your words can really hurt me. My words can really hurt you. And therefore, I want to be careful how I treat other people. When I look at this picture, it's such a sad little picture. You see a group of them are playing baseball, and they're trying to get a game going, but there's people laughing, and I think everybody can see the one who's really sad. He's really sad. And I don't know what took place, if he struck out or they didn't want him to join the game. But, you know, look at, you got a mean and angry one over here, like he wants to hit him with the bat, and this one's going, yeah, 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 go. And these two are laughing at him, like, and making him feel sad and hang his head. But children, guess what? Remember what I said. We are important and special to God. Very important and special to God. So don't let anyone make you feel less than them. You are equal. We are all equal. No matter where we live, no matter what schools we go to, no matter how tall we are, how long our hair, how short our hair, how curly our hair, doesn't matter. Even what color my skin is does not matter to God. So remember that, children, and that will help you learn how to treat other people. No one is better than anyone else, and we have to say, God, thank you for that. So we left off with this Bible person named Peter, who was a messenger of God. And he wrote this amazing statement in the Bible, in the 1 Peter. And they just call it 1 Peter because it's like a letter. It's really a letter that Peter wrote to the Christian friends, letting them know not to worry, that things will be okay. They just have to keep on fighting and keep going, and don't give up on this new life in Christ. Don't be afraid. And just like each of you, don't give up. Don't be afraid. We have this new life with coronavirus. Don't be afraid. Be safe. Be wise. Be smart. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Trust that God will take good care of us. And he has. So we see here that Peter says that we could tell God about all of our cares and troubles because God cares about us. And that can be found in the first letter of Peter, and it's chapter 5 and verse number 7. In fact, God thinks that we are so important that he sent his only son. And what's his son's name, everyone? Yes, Jesus. That's his name of his son that he sent to this earth to die on the cross to show us the way to get to heaven. So we're going to live on this earth And it has its troubles, and we'll have problems, but overall it's a beautiful earth, a beautiful sky, the sun, the moon. Oh, even when it rains, it's beautiful. When it snows, it's beautiful. When the sun is bright, it's beautiful. The ocean is beautiful. The birds, everything that God made is beautiful. But when we do wrong, that's not beautiful. It's the wrong that we do. That's not okay. Okay? So remember that. So while we live on this earth, then when we talk about when we die, because we all are, and let's face it, don't be afraid to die, because it's something that God says. It's just like with little pets. We have little animals, and they live for a time, and then they die. Some of you have had fish. I know. You've had some fish there, right? And the fish lived, and then the fish died. And you may have had a dog or a cat, and it lives and it dies. And that's a part of life, children. So this part of life, though, is that we get to live on this earth and do all the good we can do and follow God and obey our parents. And then when we die, if we've done right with God and accepted Jesus and paid attention and we were baptized and we did all these things that God told us to do, right? And we lived, we're going to heaven, to a beautiful place that God has made for us, okay? So God created us with an amazing talents and ability. He knows you are important to God. It does not matter how good you are in math, how fast you can run, or how handsome or pretty you are. To God, you are valuable simply because He created you. And because God thinks humans are so valuable, He gets very angry with those people who are mean and mistreat other human beings. He gets very angry when people mistreat other human beings. And why? Because His Son, look at His Son, died on the cross for us. Remember that. He created us in His image, and so He does not want us to treat His creation like it's no good. He doesn't want that, okay? So, and because God, and I'm going to fold this so that I can stay on the story. So now He says, Jesus tells this story. Jesus is going to tell this story. And Jesus tells this story of a master who went on a trip. So the boss went on a trip, and he left his workers in charge of his things, okay? So boss goes away, tells everybody, take care of them. He told his servant to take care of the things. And the servant, or the person who worked for him, thought that the boss was going to be gone a long, long, long time. So this servant or worker began to beat the other servants and workers. And he was partying and doing all kinds of crazy things with the boss's money, okay? And then by surprise, the master came home. The boss came back. And he came back early. When the master found that the servant or the other employee was mistreating the others, he punished him severely. He was very upset that Jesus told this story to remind us that being nice to others is always very important. It's important to be nice to others, because when you're not nice to others, God doesn't like it. So you have to treat your friends, your neighbors, people that you don't even know, people you just meet for the first time. You have to treat them nice. You have to be kind. While Jesus was on earth, He often explained how we should treat others. In one place, Jesus told how we could come back someday and separate the evil people from the good people. So that's what He's going to do one day. We always talk about Jesus came, and He lived, and He died, and He was buried, and then He got back up again. And then He went back to heaven. And then one day he's going to come back again. And when he comes back again, then we really have to make sure that all that we've done was right by Jesus and how we treated other people. See, when we treat other people right, we're treating Jesus right. When we treat someone we don't know kindly, we're treating Jesus right. We're making God happy. And so we have to remember that he'll come back someday and he's going to separate the good from the evil people. Right now, we're all equal. We all have a chance. We all have a chance. Remember, we're all born. We're all living. Then one day we're going to die. That's all equal. But then there'll come that day that God's going to make a separation from the good and the evil. So you have to think about that, okay? That's where the separation will come for us. But anyway, he will come back and he's going to separate the evil from the good people. Jesus told those good people who had obeyed God that they were going to heaven because they had fed him when he was hungry, visited him when he was sick, and given him water when he was thirsty. So tomorrow we're going to talk about what that really means. See, although you don't see Jesus right now, every time you do good to someone, it's as if you're doing it to God. It's as if you're doing it to Christ. So I want you to remember that, children. We will finish out our lesson on tomorrow, and I hope that you will continue to remember to do what God says about how we treat others. This is actually on an email that I sent to your parents. So if your parents would like to download it, please print it up for your family and use it and share it with them. Because as I said, it will help them to continue to learn what it takes to treat others the way you want to be treated. That's an important lesson. So for all of us, not just for children, but for grown-ups. So today, children, I want you to get outside. It looks like the rain stopped. And therefore, you can get out there and you can maybe clean up a little bit the yard, maybe clean up in front of your house if there's some trash. You know, get out there and see some of the birds chirping, a couple of squirrels running around. You might even see a chipmunk today. I don't know, because sometimes I've seen a turkey on my street. Couldn't believe it. Well, yeah, we believe it because we see them at camp. Remember we saw them at camp last year? They were walking and just hanging out. So, yeah, get outside today. Do some jump rope, do some calisthenics, do some exercise, do some jumping jacks. Get those bodies moving. Get off the couch. Put down the video game, and remember, you can catch us on YouTube tomorrow. There's lots to do, children. Be creative. You're made in God's image. You're special to him. And so, no worries. And remember, wear your mask, wash your hands, and listen and obey your parents. So, until tomorrow, see you later, Archicherubs. Have a great day.